So I'm on one last hurrah before a long weekend. In some ways it's a D-Day weekend because I've got to run the queue time for South Africa this weekend or it's bust. That said, I haven't booked any flights yet, but that's another story. On the other hand, if you take it in isolation, it's a challenging weekend in itself. You see, the plan is the Gold Coast Marathon, and in their wisdom, split up the half marathon and the full marathon. Now, I've run both in the past, but not in the same year. I ran the half in 2019. I was suffering from injury. I think it was a calf issue. I managed to just be very careful through it. Had to downgrade from the full in order to do that. The previous year, 2018, as the last finishes of the half were well finishing, I was on the side of the road, in essence doing a check to make sure my foot wasn't broken, because I couldn't run, turned out to be a blood vessel in my foot. So in some ways I've got unfinished business, but in other ways this is just a unique challenge. Last year the plan was to split the races, so instead of having the half marathon go at 6 o'clock on a Sunday, they decided to push the race back a day, to have it at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, so they could have the full marathon with the road pretty much themselves. I think there's a 5k on, there's a 10k on as well, on the Sunday morning. Now at the time about 180 of us signed up to do both. Unfortunately, due to circumstances like that is beyond the world's control, they didn't manage to run it last year because they had to cancel it 5 days for the event, because if you want the truthful thought, the Queensland government decide to impart their will on the people of the southeast because someone got the sniffles. This year, tide's turned. They can't afford to do that, so even if someone has the sniffles, there's no chance for them to be able to cancel the event. If they do, they'll lose power which they still hold for 2 years regardless, but power just the same. So a lot of it's about pre-race planning. I haven't done a lot of training for this. As you know, I've had issues with my groins. It's only been very recently that my groins have been in good enough condition to actually do some road runs. That's not to say I haven't been doing anything. The football season started and I was able to get through sessions and matches and umpiring commitments when I haven't been knocked out, but that's another story. So, this time it's nearly been the first time I've been able to run for a while this week. It's nothing fast, nothing special. But look at the watch, it's not very far at all, not very quick. This is just a shakeout run, just to get the legs ticking over. As I'm thinking about things to say at the same time. So the plan is on Friday we'll fly down. It's going to be a tight turnaround because I won't get to the Gold Coast till about 9 o'clock at night. Getting on the tram will be problematic because I'm in Surfers Paradise, not Broadbeach. And after it's finished, which I'm going to take seriously but not seriously, if you know what I'm talking about, all I'll be looking to do is just get into the recovery mode. What may not help that is forecast rain. It's forecast to be raining on Saturday and particularly Sunday. Now, I don't want to rely on the pool at the apartment block because who knows who's been in there, what's been in there. I'm looking to go beachside recovery, but that may not be possible if indeed it rains too much and they close the beaches. Hence, there's going to be no aim for the half marathon except just to finish. And to take it easy when the need arises. For the full, the aim is to get into the qualifying zone. I have to run sub 450. So anywhere from 49, 59 and quicker gets the job done. It's not going to be easy on tired legs, not easy on good legs. For the past few attempts on it, and I've had 3 attempts this year. Time-wise, I was on schedule, but then the legs let me down. Had groin pull in recurrence in both Wangaratta and Canberra. And in essence, I basically ran out of legs in Brisbane, about the halfway marker. But at the very least, I've at least need to a little bit, not much. It's going to put me at a disadvantage. Where I do have an advantage is that in the past I've done something like this before, but not in a race scenario. There have been many marathons and even comrades that the day before I've gone to a park run, done a 5k at reasonable tempo. I try and do it easy, but it never seems to work out that way. So it's not foreign backing up on a short back up. Indeed, it's probably 16 more kilometres, but the fitness levels then are far different. Now, what happens if I don't get the qualifying time? Well, I've got to try and finish first and foremost. Because I've got 6 hours 40 to finish the entire marathon, and I know there's going to be a tail end Charlie who'll be kicking my ass if I fall back that far. But that said, if I am somewhere near the queue time, you just got to go for it. If I get hurt, I get hurt. Not much else to be said really in terms of a preview. But I'm sure we'll go a little more in depth in the next couple of days. But for now, let's go through this one last shakedown, finish this off, and then we'll rest up on Thursday, get the flight Friday, take it easy-ish Saturday, relatively speaking, go for broke Sunday and see what happens.